So we could rehearse our voice on the slides, and then we could actually go slide by slide. So I could record on slide number 1, record on slide number 2, but it may happen that my slides are moving little faster or little slower, and my explanation is not matching with it. And at times it was pretty boring for the child to, see the simple text was written, and as if the teacher is just reading out, because teacher's face was not featured in those videos. Also, the disadvantage is that the feature is only available for PowerPoint 13 and 16 and latest version. Those who are still using PowerPoint 7 or PowerPoint 10, they are not able to do screen recording, and hence it's a disadvantage for them. So this particular tool, Loom, which we are going to learn today, it allows you to record your screen and your explanation. So it can capture your screen, it can capture your voice, and it can also capture your face. If you don't want to feature in the video, it is okay. So you have basically 3 versions of recording. One, you only record the screen. Second, you record the screen with your voice. Third, you record the screen with your voice and with your own self featured in the video in one corner. So these are the 3 ways in which the recording is facilitated in Loom app. This is absolutely free. However, there was some limitation with the free edition that one could record 25 free videos, and after that you had to either delete some of the videos from your Loom Cloud, or you had to move to the paid version. But in COVID-19 pandemic crisis, this EdTech company is giving you the premium version for free. So you can go and record endless videos, and there is no limit that what should be the maximum size of the video that you record using Loom. Another tool that we are going to do is Flipgrid, which is basically to empower student voices. So I will take you through both these tools step by step. Before I move on, anyone, any query or anything that you want to ask, please unmute and go ahead. Okay, can I move further now?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, now this is about Loom. So it says that Loom is a video recording tool that helps you get your messages across through instantly shareable videos. With Loom, you can record your camera, microphone, desktop simultaneously, and your video is then instantly available to share through Loom's patented technology. So I will be sharing this PPT after the session with you all through your registered email IDs, and here I have given some link of self-help tutorials plus some FAQs which you may have while you are working on this tool. So you can check these links at your leisure, and you can check actually how to go step by step. I'm taking you to the process here also, but in case later on you want to refer to it, you can check these videos. Now, to start with the Loom, you have to go to any browser and you have to type www.loom.com. So you get this first particular screen. So if you have made a note, it's written on this blue panel, COVID-19 response, cutting prices, removing limits, free for education. So now there is no limit. It is now free for education for some time. Initially, there were the 2 versions of Looms were available. One was free version, another one was premium version. So now premium version is also available for free. So we can access this particular tool. Now, when you come to this screen, you have to click on this button, Get Loom for free. When you click on Get Loom for free, you get these options: sign up with Google or sign up with Slack, or if you have any other Rediffmail, Hotmail, any other ID, you can create your free account. So I created it using my Google ID. You can also use any sort of account to go to this particular portal. Once you have created, it will ask you, there will be 2 options, whether you want desktop app or Chrome extension. If you want to work online with Loom, there is no need to download the software. You can just go to your Chrome browser, click on the 3 dots that come on the side of the browser, and in the from the drop down box, you will get this option extensions, and there you have to write Loom extension. So when you search it, it will be added to your Chrome browser, and you can click on the extension and start working. There is another option to download desktop app. Once you download the desktop app, this is the screen that you get, the first screen on my particular screen that you are seeing, and the second screen is about getting an online web extension for Chrome browser. So these are the two ways to get this particular app. Once you get the app, either you download the desktop app or you get the extension added to your Chrome browser. It asks you to accept the privacy policy. So you can read the privacy policy carefully, and then you can click on I agree, and then you will use Loom for. Why is it asking you this question? Because the suggestions that will come to you from in the resource section, that will be based on your portfolio. So if you are a teacher, so it will make you suggestions which are relevant to teachers. It will pull out the videos which are available in the public library for the teachers. If you are a student, it will make you suggestions accordingly. And if you are using it for personal use, choose it that way and click on continue. As you can see, I already signed in with my Google account, so my name is coming here on the dashboard. And then after clicking on continue, you will get to see this kind of screen. Now I am going to take you to the live demo of the tool. I'll make a pause from the PPT here, and then I am going to jump into live demo. Before I do so, have you understood the purpose of the tool, what we are learning? This is a free video recording tool, as I said. And how is it different from other options? So other video recording softwares which are available to us, they either record our screen or they record our desktop, but it is a tool that gives us the opportunity to feature ourselves in the video. So we can record actually three things simultaneously: our desktop, our own face, and then our own voice in the video. So let's go for a live demo from here. So I'll just change the screen and let me know if you can see my live Loom screen. Can you see this particular screen? Okay, just I'm going to take you to the live demo screen of Loom. Okay, can you see Loom here?
Yes.
Yes, it's visible.
So two videos are there. One I just recorded to give you demo, and this I played in the beginning when I started the call. This is another video where I was trying to see if a mathematics teachers try to solve a question and record each and every step and explain it step by step, then it's a boon for maths teacher, chemistry teachers to solve some equations. So the few subjects where I see a lot of relevance of this tool can actually leverage this feature of screen recording with your voice, where you are writing the steps and you are explaining them in your own voice one by one. Now see, since I have downloaded the Loom app, this is my window where you are seeing my dashboard, but I will launch my desktop app. So this is my desktop app. Now, if you see, it says select camera. So by default, everyone has to select front camera. So if your front camera is visible, it means so now since I have selected this option, screen plus cam, so my face is also visible, plus my camera is also capturing me. If I do not want myself to be featured, so in that case, what I need to do is I have to choose the option screen only. So if I click on screen only option, it will take away my face from the screen and it will show only my screen. And if I want to record only myself speaking, no screen, I have the third option, camera only. So when I choose camera only, then it will only record myself. I can bring wherever I want to. If I want to record myself full screen, I can go full screen from here. So I can make it a little bigger. So I will be recorded full screen, but if I want screen only, so it will record my screen only. And if I want screen plus myself, so I will get both the features together. it's your choice what way you want to proceed. And then, as I said, select the camera as front camera, and this is your microphone. If you want to do recording with the help of your headphones, select this option, otherwise keep microphone. And then you can have the last option as for microphone, none. So if I want to record my screen without any voice, I want to play a background music, so I can select none from here, and later I can add a background music to my video. I think I am going a little fast. If please stop me if I am doing so. Veena ma'am, can you confirm me by unmuting that you are with me? Are you getting what I am explaining?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone in the room? Gurpreet sir, is it okay? Can I move ahead or I need to go a little slow? Shumaila ma'am, can we move ahead?
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
please go ahead.
Okay. So once I click on start recording, so I have to have my document open that I need to explain. Let's try opening a Word document. And like I was explaining you in the beginning, so let's say this is, I'm opening out, let's say I have a PDF from a mathematic book. So I'm just going to open that, and I will show you that if this was your book and you were to record and do the explanation to the students, how you could do it. So you can actually do your recording with anything. So this is a chapter of mathematics, and I click on start recording. So the moment I click on start recording, it will say starting recording, and it will give me 3 seconds time. Now the recording has started. 3, 2, 1. So there is a pause recording, stop recording button here. So now I can start to speak. Since I did not open my camera, it is only recording my screen and voice, but my photograph is not coming. I could have done that also. So let's say I'm explaining, hello children, today we are going to learn addition and subtraction. So you did this in previous class also. So before we move on, here is the activity for you. Take out your rough notebooks and please start to solve this activity. So you give your instruction. If you want mouse pointer while you are speaking, so you have your mouse pointer size defined. And then while you are speaking, you can actually use mouse pointer on the screen, and you can take the mouse pointer. So I want you to solve this problem of gym. So you can move your pointer wherever you want to focus on the screen, right? So you can actually record pointer also along with the screen. Then once you are done, if you want to pause in between, and you can say pause, and you can resume later on, continue recording. Once you are done, you can say stop recording. If you feel that your recording did not go well, you can completely discard it by clicking this delete button, and you can start to do it again. Now suppose I am done with it, so I will click on stop recording. So the moment you say stop recording, so your recording comes here like a YouTube video recording. So now you can play it as 1x, 1.2x. These are speeds of recording. So how many frames per second? 1.2 is an ideal speed, and 1 is the speed in which you recorded. If you want to go a little faster, check in 1.2. If you want to really have a fast video, then you can increase the number of frames per second. Okay, let's hear it back what it has to say. Since I did not open my camera, it is only recording my screen and voice, but my photograph is not coming. Why there is this change? Can anyone tell me why there is this change? Because I increased the speed. I did not speak so fast while I was recording. So here I can actually change my speed. I can come back to my original speed 1. So if I play now with 1x, I could have done that also. So let's say I'm explaining, hello children, today we are going to learn addition and subtraction. So you did this in previous class also. So before we move on, here is the activity for you. Take out your rough notebooks and please start to solve this activity. So you give your instruction. If you want mouse pointer while you are speaking, so you have your mouse. Could you see how my recording happened? Any confusion so far?
No.
So once you have done, as I said, I increase the speed earlier, so I can bring it back from this portion. So this portion, let me decide my screen. Now this is either you want to view it in theater mode. So if you want to view it in theater mode, you can click on this option and you can bring it back to default mode. Once this video is done, let's say you are recording the video and in between you want to cut some portion which did not go well, or you feel the need is not there, you can use this trim option. So when you use trim option, it is again asking you to decide the speed, and then you can actually decide how much portion you want to trim. So suppose I want to start trimming from here, so I can click here and say start trimming. I can decide how much portion of the recording I want to remove from here. I can set it through the pointer. So once you set it, how much more or how much less, so I can actually decide my trimming portion, and then I can click on remove. Or you can manually also adjust from here. So as you can see, these are the timing from which second to which second you want to remove. So this is so easy, and then you can click on remove. So once you remove, so that much portion of your recording will go from there, and it is asking you. So once you have removed it, it is asking you to return to the video. So you return to the video after your recording is done. My net has become a little slow, that's why it's taking time to update. Okay, so I go to return. Just a minute, I will come back to my grid. Sorry. That particular video is taking time to trim. That's why it's not coming back to the original screen. I will just show you in a minute. Okay, I'll try just 1 minute again. There is, okay, now it came, I think once there is some problem with internet connectivity. Once you remove it, you will get the option publish changes here. I got it for a minute. Can you notice there is in between publish changes coming? So actually the screen is frozen. So when you do publish changes, it actually, here it's coming. So I can say publish changes. So it says, oops, you can't publish a video that's less than 1 second. Maybe I pressed start, remove button so many times. So that's why it's coming. So what I can do is I can cancel it so that it's little bigger, or maybe I can make it little big so that it can be of minimum 1 second so that it can be published. So let me do that, and then I can say that so once you do that, I'm just closing it and I will record it again quickly and show you, because that screen is frozen. So I am again going to launch my Loom app and quickly show you. You can see the process once again. So it's screen only. If you want screen plus camera, click on screen plus camera and then click on start recording. So if you choose screen plus camera and you start to record, then you will be featured in the video at the bottom. It will give you a 3, 2, 1 prompt, and then it will start to record. So suppose I am recording this screen, it says starting recording. So internet looks like has become a little slow. So now it's recording. It will give me a prompt of 3 seconds and then it will begin. So hello students, we are going to learn today addition. Now I think we are going to learn today addition and subtraction. You did this topic in previous class and I give you this warm-up activity. Please try this activity on your notebook and then we will cross-check the answers. I feel you should be able to do it because these are your previous class topics. So you speak and then you say stop recording. Once you stop recording, your recording goes to your dashboard. And then as I explained, you can set the screen, you can set trimming and all. And once it is done, one way is if you want to share it with people, it is copy link. So you can let it be on Loom's cloud space and you don't need to move it anywhere. So you can say copy link, or if you are thinking that my videos should be with me, so you first download it and then remove it from here. So you can remove it from Loom's cloud and you can download and keep a copy of your video with you. Like my first video, I downloaded and now I can remove it from here because I do not want it to be there on their cloud because of security issues. I can download it and keep it with me on my computer. Is this tool clear to everyone? This is the only use of this tool to record screen with yourself featured in the video. And you can quickly
Sonia,
and use. Yes, ma'am.
Like when we are teaching on Teams and we are sharing our PowerPoint presentations and side by side we keep our video on. So that also solves the same purpose, right?
Ma'am, but many of the educators do not have team portal with them.
Okay.
So
Okay. So
what
the
they are
Loom can be
doing, they are
helpful.
sending pre-recorded
Okay.
lessons. They are sending pre-recorded
Right.
lessons to the students.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Anyone else in the room, any question that you want to ask before I move on to next tool?
Ma'am, is
Yes.
mobile version of Loom is available?
Ma'am, you can go to any browser on the, in your mobile, you open Google Chrome and take extension for Loom, and then you can use it on mobile also.
Okay,
But
thank you so much.
since it is a tool to record lessons, much sense will not make it by using it on mobile. But if
Ma'am,
it solves your
actually,
problem,
right now,
you can try it. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
okay, thank you, ma'am. Actually, my laptop is out of order, that's why.
Okay, no problem, ma'am. So next Sunday, I will show you a tool which can, even if you write on your copy and you keep the focus of your mobile camera on your copy, everything that you are typing can go onto the screen of students and students will feel as if you are writing in real time on a blackboard. So I wanted to show
That
it
would be
today also.
wonderful. That is what we wanted. Yes.
So
Yes.
next Sunday, maybe I'll try to do that. Today, the server of that particular tool was down. I could not do the settings and all. I'll show you that on next Sunday. So the next tool, which I am going to tell you now, is about students. So if you want to, capture students' feedback, and the name of the tool is Flipgrid. So I am closing this Word document and I am coming back to my PPT. If whatever devices you have right away with you,
Not able to hear anything. I think so.
sorry, there was some
Okay.
network problem.
All
I
right.
left the
Okay.
call by. So I am going to show you my presentation again, and I'm going to give you a code. Request you to click, go to Flipgrid, open any web browser, go to Flipgrid, and if you are on the laptop, try this code. So see, I have given you this particular code. Now, if I go and paste it on internet, I want to show you what Flipgrid can do. So I am going to a browser, and here the code which I displayed on my screen, I'm simply posting that particular code and pressing enter. Now what's happening here is I created a grid, and when I share its code with people, so people will be getting this particular screen. So this screen says that feedback on E4 Sundays. So if I want you to give feedback, I have given you this link. I will share it with you right now. Also, you can try when you get a grid code from anyone, how to use it. So this is actually when you get this particular link with you, so you just have to click on plus sign, and then you have to start speaking. So at the max you can make a 1 minute video using 1 minute 30-second video using Flipgrid. So it's a very good tool to take instant feedback from the students. So this is basically the tagline of this tool is empower student voices. So as I created this grid, and after creating, I have to just give the code of the grid to the students. My students will get this plus sign, and they have to click on this and start speaking. It says record a response. So suppose I start to record and I click on plus, then it asks me here the restriction is you have to sign in into the grid either using a Google ID or using a Microsoft ID. No third ID is allowed. So suppose I sign in using Google ID, let's say like you, I also receive this link from somewhere, and I click on sign in with Google, and then I am giving one of my ID here, and I want to record my response. So it says login successful, and then I can actually record my response on the Flipgrid. Now it
Sonia,
says,
what is the code? What is the code?
okay, code ma'am, I'm just giving once again. It
3948.
Just 1 minute, ma'am. It was Vadva 3948. Vadva 3948. So when you come here, it says that Flipgrid want to use your microphone and camera. You can please allow that. And after that, you can start speaking your response. So here you can take multiple trials. If you feel your video is okay to go, so then you can say, for example, now my face is coming and I can record my video. So I have to click on this record button. I can change my background and things. So here I can apply some filters. So if I want to have a different background or a different filter, so I can choose something from here.
Very nice video. We are enjoying it.
And then you can start to speak by clicking on this. You can start your recording. It will give you 3, 2, 1. So hello everyone. I am really enjoying on board with all the educators for E4 Sundays series. It gives a lot of good feeling interacting with all of them, sharing something new about technology. And I'm excited for these sessions. Would like to listen from other educators, those who are attendee. So once you are done, click on next. And
Sonia, check. I have sent it. If you have got it.
I'll just check, ma'am. Now, once you are done, if you want to delete it, you can delete it. If you want to add more, you can add more to this video because the limit is 1 minute 30 seconds. And once it is done, then it will ask you to have your selfie for your video. So you can take your selfie, which will be your cover image. And once you have done that, you can say next. It's super easy to use. So it will be then saved as your response. And once you have done that, so it says, are you sure? Because I'm exiting, so I can say no. I can cancel and I can still just submit my video. So this is my display name, and I can give my title here, feedback on E4 Sundays. I can give a title to my video. I can give my display name. right? So then I can say submit video. So once I do that, it says, congrats Sonia Vadva, your record on the video is Flipgrid is saved. I can download my video, I can download my selfie, and this is the link of my video. I can save it and I can say complete. Now, as I see one response here, so now one response is being added to the grid. Ma'am, I did not get your response here. Maybe if the internet speed is an issue, I will get it. But whosoever is an attendee here, it's a humble request to each one of you to give the response on the grid. Okay, Anjana ma'am, just one sec. This is a student view.
Yes.
Now I go to educator view because I was also recording as a attendee. Now if I
But
go
I
to
can see mine. I have sent it and I can see.
ma'am, I'll come to know now. So earlier I was in a view where I was myself recording as an attendee. Now if
All
I'm
right.
the teacher who has created this particular grade, so I'll see you. So it says E4 Sunday feedback, 2 videos. So one is yours and one is mine. So I received your video. I can click here
Yes. Yes.
and I can check. So this is my active grid, and here it says 2 videos. So I can see those videos by clicking here.
Right.
Okay, I can click on view. So it's now showing me in this particular format. And here, when I have 2 responses, it shows one of Anjana ma'am and one of my own. So I received your video. This way, now coming back to how teachers can use it in classroom. So if I show you few grids which I have used in the classroom, and then I'll tell you the process. This is story building challenge. So I did this as a project. So I recorded my video as the first person video on the grid. I created a grid and I told children that this is a story building challenge where I'm going to give you the first paragraph of the story, or I'm going to set the plot of the story. And then I will pass this challenge randomly to one student, and that particular child is supposed to pass it to the next student. So what we did is, I as the speaker, first speaker, so when we were giving title to our videos, so we were numbering ourselves as speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3. So each one of us was posting our videos. So in this particular grid, if you can see, there are 12 videos. So 12 students spoke about, they built the story. So they kept on passing the challenge from one person to another, and then everybody was building on the story. Now you may think that the child who is at 12th number, it means he has to listen to first 11 speakers. So what we did, we also created a parallel Google Docs, Open Docs software, where everybody who was speaking, he was pasting a copy of his script there. And the link was given in Flipgrid intro page. So whosoever was speaking, uska script bhi, it was documented into Google Docs sheet. So if the person is not interested to listen to other people's story, the person could read it from there. So that's how we used it for one purpose. Second, there is an extempore competition, just a minute thing, which can be easily done. So when I was ICSE coordinator, so I wanted the students to take the feedback after pre-board wherever they are still, they still need the help of teachers. So I created a grid on ICSE computer application, and I shared the grid with students, and I asked them to speak up their opinion, the topics where they still need help. So you can create a grid. For example, you have taught a beautiful topic to the students and you feel that it has a lot of real life application, and you want to give them a platform to speak about the application of that topic. Students really enjoy when they actually show their face in the camera and give their live feedbacks. So that's why the tagline of the tool is empower student voices. If I can recall correctly, in our school in Prangan, there was an activity, Know Me More, which was pending when the school was to reopen. Now, since the school did not reopen and children did not come and physically meet each other, so teacher created a grid with the name Know Me More and send the link to each and every parent. The parent just click on plus sign. The child spoke about himself, and then the record was submitted. And then the link of the complete grid was again shared back with the parent. Now everybody can see who all are their classmates and they can know them more. So this is how you can use it. I will now show you how to use Flipgrid. Now, if you are a newer learner to Flipgrid, so what you have to do is you have to first go to Flipgrid and you write on any browser www.flipgrid.com. Once you do that, it will ask you to sign in. There will be two things on your screen once you do this. Either if you have a Flipgrid already code, so you can enter the flip code here and you can go and feed in your response. So this portion of the screen is to enter a flip code. So as I gave you a code VADVA3948, so same way you can enter the code and you are good to go and record your response. If you want to create your own grid and you want to have an account on Flipgrid, go to Educator Sign Up. It's free. So you click on this screen and then you create your own account. As I said, either Microsoft ID or Google ID will allow you to create your account on Flipgrid. So once you sign up, it asks you that as I already have account, so maybe my screen will look little different when you try. Your screen will be little different. So because I'm already signed in, it is bringing me back to my home screen. So when you sign up as a new educator, you will get this dashboard, but this will be blank. So you can, if you are creating a feedback grid for students, click on add new grid. See, you can use this tool for informal activities also. Let's say this is the birthday of your close family friend. So you want everybody to send messages, record 1-minute video and send messages for that person. So you create a birthday message grid and send it in the family group. People will keep on recording their responses and later on you can share the link of the grid to the person whose birthday it was. So the person will have a feel good factor because in one grid, if there are 20, 25, 1-minute message, everything together. Now the beauty is these kind of things can be done on WhatsApp also, but after a period of time, you have to clear your WhatsApp chat. Plus in the chat, there will be in between videos, then some chat. So everything of yours, the data is not in one place. Now Flipgrid data is on cloud. It is not on your thing. The space in your phone or device is not occupied. So your videos are on cloud actually. So you have to just share one link where people will have access to all other videos. So let's say if I click here, add new grid. So it is asking what is the name of your grid. Let's say my grid name is Earth Day message for the community. So I create a message from educator community. So if on Earth Day you want to give one message to the community, so you create a message and this is a school students will join this grid. So don't use this option if you want to create it for public, and anyone with the link can do that. So click on public and PLC. So click on this and then it immediately gives you Flipgrid code. So this is the code of my Flipgrid. I should copy it and then I say next. Now it says 2 quick notes. First, anyone with the flip code can join and view videos on your grid. So like Anjana ma'am, when you open it on the laptop, you will be able to see my video also along with yours because I made a public grid. If you want to keep it as a private grid, so you use this option, add a password. Then in that case, jisko bhi I am giving the grid code, I have to give them a password. But I don't want to do that. So I will click on or switch, keep it off. And then second, a Microsoft or a Google account is required to give your feedback on this grid. And then I say next. Now it says let's click start to discuss. You can copy the link and share it on Twitter, Teams, anywhere. It's giving you option, share to Microsoft Teams, share to Google Classroom, share on Remind, or you can just keep a copy and paste it even in WhatsApp. And then you go to your grid. So this is my grid. Earth Day message. Now I want a picture here. As you saw in my grid, my photograph was coming. So what I can do is I can edit my grid. So here I have an option, pencil, edit grid. When I go to this option, I have this option of changing the image at the bottom. So I can click on this image. There are some ready-made textures given. I can either choose from here, or I can have my own picture uploaded in this section, and then I can say update grid. So I can change the cover photograph of the image, and then I'm ready to share, and then I can say share. I can copy and I can get the grid code to many people, and they will be able to see. Basically, this is a very good tool to take. This is called Teams integration. So when you paste the grid code in Teams, so when people respond by team integration, you will get notifications on team that somebody has replied on your Flipgrid. So you can integrate it with various tools. You can duplicate a grid and change few questions and then use it. Now it is a good idea to give description of your grid so that people know what they are supposed to do, and then you share it and you are good to go. People who will receive the grid code, they will be able to record their responses. So my best experience with this tool is when I have to do a quick extempore. Say for example, you are in a class and you are teaching a theory topic, let's say disadvantages of computer network. So I have already created a grid, I generated the code, and when I have finished discussing the advantages, disadvantages, then I push the team Flipgrid code in Teams window, and I tell the children that quickly go to Flipgrid, and it's a 1-minute extempore. Give me 3 disadvantages of computer network, and you have 5 minutes time to do that. So it's a live extempore which is happening. All the children are recording their responses, and on my screen I'm able to see who all have responded back to me. That's the beauty of this tool. Majorly to gather opinions, to gather feedback, and to hear students' voices in real time. Any comments so far? Anything else that you would like to know more about this tool? Any limitation that's coming to your mind, or you want to know where to use it? Okay. So before I close the call, if anyone has any query or anything you want to say, please go ahead. I am done from my side. So I wanted to tell you about Loom, and I wanted to tell you about Flipgrid today. If people in the room do not have any problem switching on their cameras, if you can switch on for 2 minutes, I want to do a social media post for this where we want to see some faces. So those who do not have any problem in turning on their cameras, please do so. Okay, let me first switch on mine. I respect your privacy. It's okay. If someone wants to take, then I can take a screenshot and I can use it if you permit. Thank you, ma'am. So I'll just take a screenshot for that. Thank you. Okay, thank you everyone. I think I can close the recording now. Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Thanks a lot.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Sonia, ma'am.
Thank you. Welcome, ma'am.
Ma'am,